Ladies and gents, welcome to The Good Show, where a group of esport lurkers, that's us, talk about shit we've seen this week. Welcome. Hello, Semmler.
Hello, James.
You right? Yeah. I've got Victory Cat. She's making an early appearance. And, of course, we are joined by guests and almost permanent residents. NewmaN.
Hello.
You can be our guest for the sake of the introduction.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine. It's really warm in here. It's really
Toasty.
cold. It's really cold outside, so it's good.
This is true. An almost permanent resident. Hello, Adebisi.
Hello. Nice work, Trance.
We were a little bit late to the show.
Trance was a little bit late to the show, but it's fine. It's fine.
You can't piss him off too much. You just take the stream down and walk out. He swore at you twice already off camera.
I'm used to that, though.
Yeah. So how's it going, Adebisi? You alright?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm swell.
Enjoying Sweden?
Yeah, it's nice and cold.
Snowstorm for you tonight,
Yeah,
too.
a lot of snow.
Well, you've been out to NewmaN. Christmas soon. You bought me any presents?
Not yet. I might do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Alright.
So, have you been a good boy?
Huh?
Have you been a good boy, though?
Yes. I think. Alright then. Yeah, so... Oh, sorry, kitty. I hit the table. You're going to distract me for the whole first half of the show, aren't you? Until you get what you want. Boop. And... Okay, yep, so a really good week. Hellspawn isn't here. That doesn't coincide. That's just, he's busy. And of course, we're going to be going over what's been happening. The two big storylines are WCG, which was over in China, that you might have saw, and also IPL, which is IGN's Pro League, that happened in Vegas. So we can start off, and I think we can just go straight into like IPL, and then move on to WCG, and then we can cover everything and everything in between with all the drama and funds. So we can go into IPL. Anybody want to introduce how awesome it was? Why are you just shaking your head at me over there? Making my life really difficult.
I didn't really see it in at all, but I saw a lot of tweets saying that it was the best event of the year, apparently.
And you didn't see it?
I didn't see it at all, so I'm looking for VODs.
Where have you been, man?
What have you been doing? Yeah, sleep.
I've been out Christmas shopping and stuff, so I've been able to...
I was just curious, did Riot send them a message asking for their desk back?
That desk is getting patented, man. David Ting tweeted about those desks there.
I don't know, man. 2 screens on the front, percentages and everything. They're fucking breaking new ground.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's introduce it then. Yeah, IPL 5 happened this weekend in Vegas. Run obviously by the people at IGN, but produced by the team of GOM TV. I think
Well, it was
of
just
wasn't it?
no, just StarCraft, wasn't it?
StarCraft
I
on
mean,
the main stage as well.
Oh, sorry, yes.
I'm
StarCraft.
not sure about League of Legends.
I didn't watch
but
any other games, so I watched a little bit of Shootmania.
I tried to show you it, but you were having none of it.
And then I watched a LoL game that was actually quite entertaining.
Ooh. Don't blaspheme.
Yeah, really, it was like
Trent, if he was going to take the stream down before, now, man.
it was like a 60-minute game between like CLG, EU, and World Elite.
Oh, is that the one everyone was tweeting about with like the gold or something? I don't know. It was
Yeah.
Good game, apparently.
The whole tournament was really good, apparently. One of the better tournaments ever.
Yeah, I was looking at the subreddit. People said it was like better story, more entertaining than the season 2 finals.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah, so lots of prize money, 3 different games, and we got the results. We can go into a little bit of StarCraft 2, and then we'll talk just generally on what happened at the event and what we thought of it, and I generally thought IPL was pretty fucking awesome. So in terms of StarCraft 2, we had Lenok winning,
yep,
beating out, oh god, Violet. Doing off the top
you're
of my
2
head.
for 2. You're pretty good.
Yeah, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, Lenok beating out Violet. I think Polt managed to come in 3rd place, and he beat out Bomber as well. So he
and 5th place was 5th place.
Oh, holy shit! I don't know. Let's go for like
Some
Life.
patches are. Don't worry. No, Life lost to Snoot. Life lost to Snoot pretty early on. That was one of the
big upsets.
One of the biggest upsets. Yeah, big story there. Snoot coming off of his really good DreamHack run and then doing well. So he was the Second
Sniper.
place foreigner? Yeah, Sniper.
I cheated.
Well done.
I cheated
well
on that
done.
one.
Fucking.
Was it top 8 Koreans, I guess?
I think it was
Sorry,
like.
Yeah, top 8 was Koreans.
Yeah.
Actually, top 12 was Koreans. I just keep pressing the button.
Oh,
Wasn't there one Korean, or wasn't there one foreigner in the top 12, or was
Nope.
it top
Nope.
16? Was
Top
Huck?
16.
Top 12 was, we had Huck finished
And Snoot.
13th to 16th, Snoot, and Zigu from China.
Shiwa.
Yeah, him.
That means watermelon.
Does it?
It does.
Wow.
Can see that time in Shanghai was spent a good.
Yeah.
But I have to say, in my opinion, from watching, it was, and I was, actually, it's the most StarCraft I've ever watched because I was sick on the first day, so I couldn't do any work, so I just lay on the couch and Adebisi put on IPL, and I managed to watch lots of games. Yeah, it was, in my opinion, the event of the year for StarCraft 2, for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was damn good. I think it was like a complete home run. I mean, I think everyone would be like, well, this event, or in terms of StarCraft, like this event or WCS Europe. I think everyone kind of agrees with that. But it was an amazing event either way. I mean, yeah, it was
Coverage
really,
all around,
really
almost
good.
every game.
I
3
I
streams
think
on.
like a lot of people like going into it would be really critical of the double elimination format, just like a big massive bracket. But in practice, I think it worked well. I don't know if it's just because even though it's still double elim, which a lot of people don't like, and I mean we did see the finals went all 8 games,
Yeah,
but it
extended
was
series
still
and
the
everything.
winner bracket person winning. But I guess I don't know if it was because we've seen a lot of other really complicated formats that just get exhausting, but the format worked really well in terms of like being able to cohesively follow the tournament and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, compared
of
to
course.
other tournaments, having a double elim bracket, and that's, I mean, in my opinion, the best solution is having a single elim bracket with group stages and seedings.
Yeah, I
before.
like that most
And
too.
when you have a tournament where double elim is looking like a really simple bracket, then the others must be really, really bad, like MLG. I mean, the MLG tournament system is, I think, horrible in my opinion. For spectating, for a casual viewer,
Yeah,
to follow the tournament, to follow the story. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
I wasn't really...
It's so much easier with a straight bracket that you can follow.
Yeah, but I wasn't really put off by the double elim anyway, because you either knew it was a winner's game, they haven't lost yet, or they had lost and they're playing in, for tournament life.
Yeah, but most matches in the upper bracket is really, I mean, they're not boring, but they're not as exciting as the lower bracket matches.
Yeah, I
because
agree.
of the elimination factor.
yeah,
Um,
tension there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not put off by the finals being like. I think they did the best solution where it's a best of 5, and then it doesn't extend to another best of 5. It's just a best of 3 because I think you
I
get
didn't like
exhausted.
that.
But what would you prefer? Would you prefer like you start a best of 7, 1 game up, or like
No, I think...
just no
best of
advantage?
5 on reset.
Yeah. 2 best of 5s.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't like
that's
it.
the most fair solution as well.
Well, I mean, best of 3 is just... It's fair as well, but I didn't like it. I was kind of like... when the reset happened, I was like, sweet. And then we go in and it's best of 3, and Violet tried to 10 pool Leanock and ended up killing his hatchery, and then, yeah, it didn't work out. And then it finished in kind of like, Leanock won 2 maps, and I was like,
Really?
yeah, I thought 2 best of 5s would have been good. But I imagine it must have been about 2 a.m. over there when it finished.
I don't think it was that late. I don't know though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, all I
Really,
can say
really,
about
really
it was
good.
I enjoyed the storyline. I thought the player pool was really good and entertaining. I watched, because they didn't do interviews with people on stage, I believe the GOM TV guys did some interviews prior to some of the Koreans coming over, and they played those, which was quite nice to get, some insight, even though they're generically Korean players. When they get interviewed, they might as well be the same person, because they kind of act and, say the same shit. But I thought Hotbid ended up doing a lot of good interviews from a couple of red couches in the lobby, so I still got to get some storylines from players, over on like YouTube, etc. So I wasn't like disappointed by anything that I was shown. I thought that the I mean, you can critique little things if you really want to.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Like the main stage setup in terms of where it was and the actual camera angle on it was really stupid because the little commentators were here
Yeah,
and
well, it's
then-
funny, if you watch all the GSL games, they used a different camera angle where the desk is basically cropping out their two screens,
Oh, okay,
and then
yeah.
the commentators are much bigger, it looks more proper, but then you're losing the percents and the sponsors rotating, which is obviously really important to IPL to make sure that sponsors are...
And I didn't, and the games with making sure the games were running smoothly was really good.
Yeah.
The second stream was great. I thought the commentator lineup was really good. I really enjoyed Grubby and Chef.
Not so much Apollo, but
Oh, getting tired.
he'll get there.
Get bored of him, really. He's doing too much, isn't he? And then I didn't really get annoyed by the amount of advertisement they showed, just because it felt like they were producing such a big event and it was over 4 days that it didn't bother me in terms of seeing X amount of ads. Like sometimes I feel that some organizations over advertise their sponsors, and that actually makes me not want to buy what they're selling anymore.
Yeah.
But I just felt it was pretty decent overall.
It needs to be natural, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think it did fit in the show really well because you didn't have a host on the stage for the majority. I think they had someone at the end near the finals. I'm not sure. Can't remember. I don't know if I saw the intro, but generally it felt like they had a routine, and that routine gave me what I wanted in terms of games, and then the community outside were producing content as well.
yeah, I think it's really good when there's no advertising between games in a series. I think maybe in the finals they might have because it's a longer series, but being able to just watch a best of 3 and that's it without breaks between the games, to me really keeps it flowing a lot better. And then when you do have a break, it's a little bit longer and it's fine because you just saw a whole series and you're kind of okay with that more. So
Yeah. Do we know any viewing figures or anything?
it's kind of weird because they had it on the IGN site embedded on the front page they had a different player with free HD, although they added the free HD to Twitch after the first day, but it had the DVR too. And there was no viewer count listed there. And I would say the numbers on Twitch seemed, certainly for StarCraft, they were pretty shitty numbers. And then even the league numbers seemed like they weren't too high. And I think Shootmania capped out 2,000 on Twitch. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure if the IGN player didn't go into that Twitch number because
Perhaps not.
I would hope so, because otherwise the numbers are pretty crappy.
Yeah.
Especially for how good it was. I mean, the amount of hype around the event once it got going, I can't see how there was only 40,000 people watching that.
Yeah, I mean, looking from all the reactions afterwards as well, hopefully it was a really big success for them viewer-wise. So I think they needed one.
I think it wasn't. I mean, David Ting did some interviews where he said, we always benchmark against our last event, and their last event had better numbers than this. So, and he said they were doing really well, really happy, blah, 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 blah. So I think the IGN
I don't know
embed
why, but
must have-
IBL 5 felt like a kind of do or die event, in my opinion.
That's why I think it's so important.
That seemed like the vibe going in.
That's why I think it's so important to kind of highlight the success of it in way. What is my mic off my face, Trans? Way off my face. Just because at the end of this year, in terms of when people think back and they look at who's done what, and I always say you're only as good as your last event in esports. IPL, I think, outdone in many ways. Not in big ways, but just small little things that they did. I feel the venue was a really nice choice of venue to go to Cosmopolitan in Vegas, and it just seemed to fit the whole brand that they were building. And they had a huge amount of sponsor list, if you saw, and that's something that I always said would be very important with IGN coming into esports, is they can actually really push this further more than
I mean, they have
maybe other companies.
Just a side note, they have a really good sales team for ads as well. So I mean, they're probably getting.
And I just feel that they've literally done, especially in North America, the best event of the year so far. Of course, we've got NASL to come up, but NASL I think are doing something in more of a cinema room with 800
Also,
viewers.
More like
Just,
Iron Squid style.
Just to correct, one of the IGN guys in the chat here said that the IGN numbers on the embed aren't included in the Twitch, and one of the other guys said that the viewing numbers should be coming out within a week or it's squirreled off, but sometime soon. So
That's good.
if they're that keen to put the numbers out, they're probably
Yeah.
pretty good.
Pretty happy about it, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just very impressed. I mean, when David Ting first came in, he was much more of an engineer, and I looked at his product at the beginning, and I was like, well, you're kind of doing everything right-ish, but you don't have any personality or flair to your like event or production. You kind of just you're building it from an engineer side of things. But I think this time they really got something that felt solid, and people would watch again, even if they didn't up the bar again, because I just thought it was a great event. Yeah. But yeah, that was StarCraft 2. And then also League of Legends did actually look really good on production. Joe Miller and DMan were there. They had 3 people on the commentary booth, and then also between games they actually had a kind of a room. They had a setup with 4 people, and sometimes they had pro players sat there just talking about the match and talking about what happened. So League of Legends looked really well produced as well. So
And that was all
a big
in-house,
success.
right? So
Yeah, I assume it was, but I can only imagine it was. And then with Shoot Mania, I don't know. Like,
There wasn't a lot going on with it, not a lot of
who
noise.
even commentated it? It was Joshy.
They had
Joshy,
asked Joshy, Golden Boy, Cat's Pajamas hopped in for some, Total Biscuit hopped in for some. I think they had some of the pro players hop in for some, so they were keeping it fresh.
The finals only had like 2,000 viewers.
Yeah,
on
didn't
Twitch.
they float around like
On
a
Twitch,
grand most
trans.
It's on Twitch, yeah.
of the time?
So they could have had 2 million on IGN.
But I heard with Shoot Mania they were meant to have $100,000 prize money,
They
but
were.
because none of the teams, or not all of the teams, could get sponsorships over, they used some of that prize money to fly them over, and then reduce the prize money. That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
it was done around, I think 55K is what the prize pool became.
30,000 was first
30
place, so
went
I
to
don't know
first.
the total prize pool.
But yeah, no. Where am I with Shoot Mania results? Okay.
Well, you got the bracket, but you don't have the...
That's what I heard, yeah. But Sturmy won with wins, with CU on LAN or whatever it is. Like
They've won
Colwyn.
every major fucking tournament this year.
Yeah,
They've just become the best team there is.
And Fnatic came second. I think Team Dignitas would have had a team there, but I can't
We
see
did have a
them.
team there, but they kind of failed.
Okay.
They lost to Fnatic.
Isn't that Zekubus?
And
Yeah.
SK Gaming, was that Rafa?
I think so.
With Clock.
Clock and somewhere else.
And
Fnatic
then
is
Planet
Strengths, right?
Express was an American team, I think, but I'm not sure. But I don't know. Like, did you guys in chat? I might as well ask you for your opinions because you're part of the community.
I think it was 80,000 total, so they took 20 to...
Okay. Did you guys watch Shoot Mania? And if you did you find it entertaining? Because this was the big Shoot Mania tournament. Didn't watch it. Shoot Mania's dead. It was okay.
Did they still play this 3-on-1 thingy? I guess they
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was boring as shit. It was boring as fuck.
Apparently, the beta 2 is supposed to come out soon, and like even like when Stormy got interviewed, he
We
said
want
like,
Reborn.
Yeah, too, they're launching the game in January.
yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's kind of better is that like 1 month?
Like a demo.
Can anyone hear Trance? By the way, chat. Do you hear him when he talks?
He's talking too low.
All right.
It's fine. Well,
Yeah. I don't know. But in my opinion, IPL won on pretty much all fronts. And also one of the bigger announcements that happened at IPL, which I think was pretty huge, was the partnership with Capcom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So this has been something that, if you watch live on Free, they've been talking about how, partners with Capcom, how they're trying to work out, with even like MLG and different routes, trying to get an actual partnership there. And no one's really been able to do it in terms of just being able to say, yes, we are partnered and we're going to do something awesomely.
Yeah, that must be through the IGN.
Or if they have done it, I haven't heard about it.
Well, it seemed like it was because of David Ting talks about in one of his interviews. There's one guy on their sponsor side who's got like deep relations with Capcom, and then they also brought on Mike Ross, who one of the Capcom guys said was like essential for the partnership coming through because they want someone with a deep understanding of the community and so forth. And then I think they've got Jedi Rob has been with them for a while, and he's from Devastation. Like I don't know much about the fighting game community, but
I mean, one really interesting thing I saw was a quote from one of the Capcom guys. I'm not sure who. It said something about it's nice to partner with someone that doesn't only think about making money off of your brand.
yeah, I think that was
Your IP.
Matt. Are you talking about the
Matt
interview
Dahlgren.
Slasher did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Matt Dahlgren, who I don't know his position, but there were a lot of passive-aggressive comments that you could really only be like, well, he's talking about MLG,
He's
isn't
talking
he?
about MLG. There was no question there.
Yeah. So that should be really big for the fighting game community. And
It's interesting, though,
it's-
because the same guy also said, he made a big point of saying, like, it was the not just wanting to make money with our IP, but it was also not wanting to book on top of other events.
Exactly.
And lo and behold, we have IPL 6, which is already booked on top of Final Round.
Round, yeah.
And so
And final round is a
that's a fighting game event, James.
yeah. Well, I was just
Yeah, for our viewers who
where
don't
is
know.
it? Like, where is it held?
It's Slasher told me, but I don't remember. I think it's in. I just get it wrong if I guessed, so I'm not going to guess.
Might
But
not be a major.
Atlanta,
event,
I think it's in Atlanta.
Okay. But it'd be interesting to see how the fighting game community kind of respond to this, because I don't know, IGN, does it feel like a IPL? Does it feel like it says it's esports?
I mean, it's still
Because
if they
otherwise,
par- if they
fighting game community esports.
Yeah, but if,
We'll
if
see.
they partner with Capcom and they're in Vegas, that might give them some credibility.
Yeah, I think being in Vegas, the fighting game community will like, and I think also just like people kind of worship Mike Ross, don't they? So if he's on board with it, then
That cat, Matt Dahlgren,
And I
really
mean-
emphasized that.
all the and I mean you get all the pros on board. They're all going to be happy making more money. So as long as you get off on the right foot, but it'll be really interesting to see what happens with the final round overlapping, because if they do that,
Document, just said they moved it, update, they moved it.
oh shit, they moved it.
All right. Well, yeah. There's also an interview.
What did
out
they
that
move?
Slasher did with Justin Wong, and Justin Wong actually, mentioned pretty clearly that he's in full support of the change and that he's really excited to see how this shapes up for the future. And you kind of get that feel that most of the guys at the top at least, are going to be looking forward to this. And it's really, they're trying to make sure that by hiring Mike Ross to do the job, they want to do everything they can to make sure it's smooth and they're not stepping on any kind of fighting game scene toes.
It's a document that they
Yeah, no, I opened the link. So on Event Hubs, people in chat have linked it too. So
Okay. And then, of course, IPL, as we just mentioned, have announced IPL 6.
And the other, like, will they bring Golem back? I kind of think they have to. It's
At
kind
this
of
point, that's probably,
It's-
I would say that's why they did stand out as much as they did. It's because they had the GOM TV production, they had the GOM TV Top 4, as well as the World Championship going on, or the, foreigners.
Yeah, we didn't
versus
really talk
Koreans.
about the World
I mean,
Championship.
What's that?
What do you guys think of the World Championship?
I thought it was hilarious.
What?
Scarlet?
What?
The World
Scarlet
Championship?
trouncing DRG.
The other things that happened.
Yeah, the
IPL.
GSL,
That was
they
the thing.
had
They had-
it's semifinals, finals,
For
and I mean,
Codex, one of the biggest tournaments of the,
Who won
of the
that?
year.
I wasn't watching. I didn't.
Sniper won
took it over
GSL.
Hyun.
He beat
Hyun.
beat Hyun in the finals, and then of course there was also, which is kind of funny, Ryung going Imba,
Yeah.
with his loss, and then Total Biscuit defending that, and so forth.
Wait. What?
When Ryung lost, it ended up being like 5-game series. He just like spammed Imba a bunch of times in the chat before
Yeah,
he
it was like a
GG'd.
big paragraph at IMBA at the end before leaving the game. The real question there is, what are the repercussions? Because that's not like it's an IPL or something where
No, well,
the rules are a
it's
little bit more lax.
GSL, like it's against the rules
It's
in
against the
GSL
rules to
to,
say
do
shit.
anything other than basically GG or ask for a pause. So it's kind of on GOM TV to decide. Although I think Total Biscuit addressed this in his interview with Slasher, where he said like, yeah, I don't know, it's been resolved with the team in the league, so I don't know.
I think
feel a lot more relaxed
Axion Esports
Yeah.
is really Jenna's project anyway. So
Yeah, but he commented on it, but yeah, it's definitely Jones.
and
They got iPads, eh?
Huh? Oh
they
yeah,
got iPads.
I
Where's
saw
my
that.
iPad, James?
I'll buy you an iPad. How much are they?
I want a Nexus 10 actually, but
Well, no, don't know that. I don't know what that is.
all right, I'll take the iPad.
Trans smiles.
No, I won't be able to buy an iPad. Trans will smash anything Apple in the house.
All right, I'll take the Nexus
Nodding.
10.
Then there was also the Korea versus the world.
This was fantastic.
Yeah, it ended up being pretty exciting. I would
Really
say.
good.
It was 3-2 in the Pro League matches, so it was kind of unfortunate that it went up like 3-1, and then they played the last match. Kind of
So
would have
it's
been more
like-
epic to be 2-2, but it was still like pretty good.
Well, I mean, you had the close first match. Well, close. I mean, sorry. Seed destroying Lucifer and dropping Nexuses everywhere.
Yeah.
But then the best part, I think it really got interesting when Scarlet turned it around on DRG,
Yeah.
wins that game, ultra late game. She's a specialist, and then comes and drops Manor Hatcheries.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh shit, just got real. Now we have to watch and like see where this goes. Fortunately, they couldn't take the win in the end, but I mean, that was a great start to the series.
Yeah, and then the second day was really good with like Scarlett like narrowly losing that
Barely.
game and like
Barely.
really should have won, but it was like you couldn't blame her because it was such a crazy game. And then
Big
of course
straight
Life going to
Big straight
town,
shit going down. It's
okay.
just like,
and then Stefano almost all killing, which would have been like so epic.
Especially
but-
when he considers himself to be in a bit of a slump as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
it's kind of his moment to prove himself, I think, and he did a
Well,
pretty fantastic job.
I
yeah.
think it's just his mindset is the only thing.
Yeah, I
don't
think maybe he
anything-
wasn't feeling as much pressure, so he could really kind of just go with it and do better because this is, not as
What was the
like
prize pool
important.
again? Eight grand?
It was like $9,000.
Yeah.
So split that 5 ways between a bunch of players, $1,000. It's not really a big deal. But I
Okay.
think the pride thing actually makes it really, really big. They were all trying.
So let's just talk a little bit about, in terms of how fun was the tournament to watch outside of production with the games. I mean, how did you rate the games at the event?
I'd say the games were really good. Like the quality of play was really high. It was a little bit unfortunate how Protoss really kind of just went out. Like there was a really good series with Balmer and Creator. I'd say that's a VOD worth watching. But otherwise, it was looking like it was going to be like a Zerg top 6. But then it was kind of like Balmer and Polt just kind of went on a
Down the wall,
tear.
yeah.
It was kind of funny though because Zergs kind of started opening like Muta a lot and not going Infestor, and so. A little speculation about that, but
Is it protest or not?
Conspiracy.
the gameplay was like really high level, so it was
and,
good.
The aftermath of the tournament in terms of balancing, a lot of people looking at Zerg is they're doing something with Infestors. Is that the case? Or
Yeah. Well, it's funny because they came out with their changes on the test map on Antigua that they were going to do before the tournament. It was like they were going to make infested Terran eggs of 80 hit points, and that was it. And then they tested that for like a day and a half during like, I don't know how much they possibly could have tested that. And then after IPL, all of a sudden they come out and they're patching into the game right now. Off the top of my head, it's 70.
70 for the hatched eggs, and then there's like the Raven
Sorry.
upgrade is free. Or
Yeah, the Raven upgrade is
It's not free, but it's not needed, I guess.
Seeker Missile. You start with Seeker Missile, and Fungal Range is 1 less. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So overall, I think we've covered IPL pretty well.
Yeah, I mean overall IPL.
Who won League of
5 was a
Legends?
It's already
success.
getting some
We
pretty good
did
feedback too.
Oh, I don't know who won.
You've already got the Protoss squad going on Twitter. Oh, I'm so looking forward to playing against Zerg with 1 less range on Fungal, on Twitter. 91 mana, they're already throwing down about that. So I don't know if the Protoss players are going to be too pleased with these changes or not. If it's going to make that big of an impact.
Oh, and also I guess with IPL there will be 4 events they've confirmed,
Yeah,
and
4
they'll be
events
back
next
at the
year.
Cosmopolitan next time. It'll kind of be their home, and then maybe they'll go somewhere else, and even maybe internationally, which would be really cool. I think it's also kind of interesting. You look because they're doing Easter weekend, which for a venue like the Cosmopolitan is like there's not going to be a lot of competition for that weekend. So I'm sure
And there's
they're getting a good deal.
In Europe, there's like lots of events during Easter weekend as well. I mean, it's usually the most events of the year.
They had a partnership right from the get-go when they even came over. I believe it. Were they in Cosmopolitan the first time?
No, they were in Atlantic City the first time,
Yeah,
which
but-
I mean it might be owned by the same parent.
Yeah, but I remember the actual hotel or the whatever you want to call it was actually on the sponsor list.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think I went to. I don't know if I went to an IPL that was in Vegas.
No, you didn't.
No,
I
went
don't
to
know.
the Atlantic City one. Okay, so that wraps up IPL. Yeah, definitely best event of the year. Aftermath is you're going to see hopefully a really strong IPL going into next year with their online stuff. It's pretty good.
They are still on sale though, so
Yeah, they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think someone brought up in an interview I listened to with David Ting. He kind of said like,
2 yeah.
well,
I reckon there was
yeah.
always a 2-year exit plan anyway, but
Yeah.
I think he's carved something out really good. You've got NASL and MLG, so it's NASL's turn next to show what they can do. So hopefully that goes well for them.
Iron
but of
Squid
course,
style, we'll see.
yeah, of course there has always been a keen eye over here just to see who's doing the right things. And then we can go on to our next event that happened this weekend. Hello, Killy. Look at your little paw. Save me from the overlay.
WCG.
Thanks.
Wait, he's out of focus.
Wake up. Wake up.
His brain is empty.
Wake up. Kitty. Wake up.
That's a shame.
Is she dead?
No, she's
She's
breathing.
sleeping.
She's just comatose.
Just like, I love it when you play with my paw. Nice thing. Ooh.
Just go to texting on this panel.
Catching up on everything, man.
Good morning, sir.
The warning. Do we want to mention the warning before the WCG? Nah. Come back to it afterwards. Well, WCG, I mean, WCG StarCraft 2 happened, as well as Dota 2,
Came from nowhere.
Counter-Strike Play,
It felt
all
like
sorts of shit. What's that?
WC came from nowhere. It felt like almost.
It didn't feel like
no
it, huh?
hype at
no
all. And
hype.
suddenly it's like, oh, it's World Cyber Games today.
By the way.
What?
Yeah.
Let's just start properly, guys. WCG recap.
WCG
There you
Recap 2012, one of the oldest, most prestigious events in esports. Had its try again at esports. It really hasn't been on the
On the radar.
since like 2009.
I don't know.
In my
It was
opinion.
probably the
Seven
most
last.
attended esports event of the
2008,
year.
I believe, was Germany in Cologne.
Wasn't that Italy? No. Was that Monza?
No, I think Italy was after that. I think 2008 was. Oh, it might have not been. It might have been earlier than that. Yeah, but the last one I remember that was really good was in Germany. That I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, that one was really good. I went to that one.
Yeah, and then I thought that everything afterwards, they kind of went like Seattle, Italy, and it kind of just dropped off the radar. But I actually think in terms of improvement from their last events, this WCG in China was an improvement.
Yeah.
Mainly just because it was such a big stage, a massive audience, and yeah, they did it kind of the Chinese way, which was weird as well. Jesus Christ, it was weird. I watched the opening prize ceremony. There was a lot of speeches going on.
Yeah.
but
The
you always do
owner,
this.
the owner of WCG was the best though, because he came up to the mic. Did you see him?
Didn't see this, no.
He was just like, came up to the mic, and everyone else is doing these boring speeches, and you know, like he comes up, he's like, woo, yeah, who's excited, woo, and he went all crazy, said some stuff, and was like, woo, woo, and then walked off. And you're just like, this guy is a nutter.
Yeah. The problem with WCG is that they always try to do this Olympic thing where they hand off the games to the
Yeah.
next city, and they have like the mayor of, like, I don't know, Cologne handing off to the mayor of Seattle and stuff like that. That usually gets really, really boring. Because it's not very exciting at all.
Yeah, they're like trying to be over official, and it was just weird.
Yeah.
Like the entertainment at the beginning, bit weird. Maybe the Chinese audience liked it. Everyone on stream was just going batshit crazy in chat. The English kind of translation, you know, she actually was pretty good at it, but obviously the accent just
Killed it.
it didn't make like you wouldn't have that kind of. If you're going to do like something Olympic style, you wouldn't have that kind of English if you were doing a translation. You know, you would. When they had to bring out the flags, because at WCG
soldiers?
they come out, well, not the soldiers, when they come out, the players come out and they ask them to wave their flag to show their pride for the country, you know, and they're like, oh, what the fuck I'm doing. and then it's just like, okay. And it was kind of weird. I just felt the wording was weird with the whole prize opening ceremony as well.
I mean, WCG is always weird.
Yeah. Like the Chinese were like, now everyone stand and clap. Rather, it's not like they ask them, it's like they just tell the audience. And and then they raise the
Do you think
Chinese
with
flag.
WCG is that they've been the big, I mean, they've probably been the biggest event or one of the biggest ones just because they've been able to take people from all over the world and just bring them to their finals without people having to pay. Now when they actually have competition from teams and events that actually, I mean, when there's actual competition, they look really bad. Because usually, I mean, before people didn't really care about the odd things that they that they did do.
It's kind of ESWC all over again, it seems.
Yeah, but talking about the games, it was quite cool in a way, because you had your Dota 2, your Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, you had StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
I believe Adel Scott got second for France.
Yep.
And first place was...
Parting. It was actually an insane bracket. I mean, like, I missed a lot just because of watching IPL 5 and sleeping, but Marine King lost to Lowly, which is like mind-boggling.
Massive.
Combat X got first in his group, took a game off Parting.
Almost took the last one too.
Yeah, he maybe could have won that game. I don't think he could have won that game no matter what he did. But
I mean, the results overall were really, I mean, exciting.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and in terms of the kind of commentary and production, that was
A++.
highly entertaining. Across
commentary,
multiple
man.
levels, it was just brilliant. It was like
Comedy gold.
I don't understand if WCG just went, we need commentators. These guys are available. You're right there. You just killed your mic. Oh, the thing dropped down. And WCG were like, we need commentators. You guys, right? You speak English? Yeah?
Okay.
Hired. All our games covered. We found 5 guys that speak English. Let's just fucking do this. So you actually had some really awesome stuff, which was like Caldor and Toby doing Warcraft 3.
And FIFA.
Yeah.
And FIFA,
I'll come to that in a minute. Caldor is like amazing. Yeah, he was... I think... When
he was a Warcraft 3
Caldor's fan base
commentator.
in Warcraft 3, I think he was so much better with. And when he transitioned to StarCraft 2, I don't think he offered as much as he used to his audience. So when he goes back to Warcraft 3, it felt really good. And also, Toby just has that kind of voice that, you know, it works really well in hyping the fights and play-by-play. So the Warcraft 3 I thought was really, really good, and the games were great. And I actually found Warcraft 3 more entertaining than StarCraft 2 to watch as an esport.
Yeah, well, I think because it's like seeing something different in a lot of ways. To me, the nostalgia factor made it really interesting to watch.
Yeah. Ted won it, I believe. TD and playing Undead, which was great because they weren't considered like the most overpowered race. Sky and Moon got to match up for 3rd, 4th, which was huge in terms of Sky is literally so big in terms of fan following and fame over there as well as Moon. And then you had FIFA, which was really funny because Toby was well into that shit. Every time there was a penalty shootout, he was like screaming, "It's him! It's him!" and the funny thing is like the audience there, like there were like, I think Poland won, and there was like 5 Polish people at the front of this whole Chinese audience with waving their flag like mental, and you had Toby screaming every time there was a goal. It was actually really entertaining. So Toby's new best game that he can cast is actually FIFA. Which he should now step down from Dota 2 to be replaced by the entertainment duo that is Doa.
And was the other guy Brendan?
And I can't remember the other
I think
guys.
Brendan.
No, it was Dota and Wolf, right?
No.
Didn't they use League of Legends?
Oh,
it's
Germany
Brendan.
won versus Poland, yeah, sorry. Huh?
Didn't they use League of Legends guys to cast Dota?
At some point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Doa's kind of a League of Legends guy now. He's been doing OGN for a while.
I heard the guy trying every time he was saying
I think he said
champions.
champions.
Yeah, he said champions, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, heroes, heroes." I was like,
Yeah, but I mean, imagine being put on stage in front of like, I guess 100,000 Chinese people.
which couldn't. Well, it was
Yeah,
more.
well, probably don't
but
understand
still,
anything
in
you're
front of
saying.
an audience and an online audience trying to cast a game you've never played.
No, but that
What
cast
is
is one of
funny.
those hilarious things that as ever
Yeah,
Dotas do.
but honestly, it was quite entertaining. I think we should do that more in esports.
Yes.
Just get known commentators to cast a game they don't know anything about, because they bring all the flow and what they know as a commentator without any knowledge whatsoever. And it was really funny, just like how they were just talking about stuff, and it was really hard for them because they didn't bring up any information. The
Well,
Chinese
the client was in
observer-
Chinese, yeah.
The client was
Yeah,
in
the client
Chinese
was in
as
Chinese
well.
too. So at some point, I
So you had
remember
like
going like, "What the fuck?"
Rhinosaurus Man, which was Magnetar, and then you had Purple Blade guy, which was Sven, and yeah, it was really good. And Brandon did actually know some stuff, but Bug Turrets were my favourite, which Venomance Awards. But yeah, no, it actually was quite entertaining. But then I believe Toby did the finals with Caldor, and that obviously went down smooth. So overall, it's kind of weird because they must not have put much emphasis on really doing their research into who they're hiring to cast what game. But it kind of worked out because no one expected anything good of WCG.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's just like no one expected them to do anything good, and actually they did pretty good.
They did well, yeah.
They did okay. It's like they had something that was very probably likable to the Chinese audience, and big enough in terms of presence at the event, and online was okay. They can build off this as a success. So oddly enough, despite it was in many ways shite.
Compared to IPL, it's shit.
Yeah, in
I
many
mean,
ways it's shite, but it's actually for WCG, I think, pretty damn good. And I actually think it's good enough for them to move forward and do more with it next year.
We'll see. They might launch a new logo next year.
Yeah.
Add a couple of mobile
Not
games.
designed by the CEO's
Then
child,
say they're
perhaps.
doing mobile games, then not, then back. Then
And go Facebook games.
But hopefully they've learned some stuff. I hope they did, at least in production-wise, for the English. Because when you call yourself world fucking cyber games, you can't have something focused on Chinese. Even if
When
in
you call
China,
yourself cyber
like
as
the
well.
Chinese production was impeccable or whatever, and then the English one is just whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the overlays and all that crap. You just in casters random can't do that. It's like
When you're called the cyber games, maybe you should learn to use widescreen as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
yeah,
when
that
it's
was weird,
Samsung, like using
Yeah.
4.3 technology, I don't know.
4.3 is
More
sponsored
room
by
for
Samsung.
overlays, man. More room for overlays. But overall, I think both of those events are going to be happy with what they've achieved.
Yeah, they should be. Or, well, IPL should be.
IPL, yeah, definitely. WCG will be happy because they live in a little bubble of...
No, I mean, the venue
yeah.
was packed.
The,
like-
the WCG problem is that, I mean, if they keep being shit in the Western world, they're not going to get any players because no one's going to want to organize a qualifier for their event.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually really interesting because you look at the StarCraft player pool and you had Marine King saying no to IPL 5 to go WCG, and like the Korean audience I think still actually puts a lot of weight in it, whereas the Western one, I mean, nobody was really playing in the American, Canadian qualifiers. Europe, not quite the same because IPL is obviously a North American event, but
Yep.
Yep. And of course, Dota 2 was won by IG. And
Made it look easy.
Yeah, and they looked really, really good. All right, so we've got a lot more to cover. We've got drama with people's tweets. We've got houses burning down that we can talk to NewmaN about. And then we just make up shit if there's not enough for the second phase of the show. So just to recap, IPL 5, big success. IPL 6, hope everyone's looking forward to. Well done, the whole team over there, and also GOM TV that brought over some of their products. And I think that synergy is really quite scary to a lot of the other American organizations. That GOM TV are really quite close now, I think, after such a great event. And WCG survive until further notice. So we'll see you for part 2, where we get started with drama. Kitty cat.
Oh, shit.
On top of it.
Double countdown. Trans, thanks. Yeah. Trans, thanks. Okay, yeah, welcome back to the good show. Part 2, we just covered IPL as a kind of production tournament in a whole, and also WCG, the event that went over in China. And now we're just going to get on to some of the general stuff, some of the drama, a little bit of everything from each of the games. Of course, just want to give a shout out to Asus, who actually support this show, so make sure you check them out. You can go to facebook.com/ROG Nordic. Chance is typing it away and it will pop up in the bottom of your screen in just a moment. I mean, Victory Cat goes there regularly for all her computer needs. Right? She's the softest cat I've ever...
It's that fur coat, man. Winter coat getting in. She's all
amazing.
poofy.
Yeah, so thanks to Asus, and thanks to you guys for tuning back in. Don't know what's going on in chat, but people are laughing. Alright, I've got this. Adebisi has changed the resolution. Right, I'm changing it. 1280, 720. Wait, I'm looking for the picture thingy. Okay, there we go. What do I do? Control plus? Yeah, there we go.
Okay, let's see. No, still no feed.
So-
Still no feed. Right.
Adebisi, what have you done?
You were the one.
Oh wait, no, I have to clone it. 1 second.
Still no feed.
Oh, there isn't an option, is there? Nope, no option to clone.
Okay, wait.
Fix it, Trance.
Is it plugged in?
Fix it, fix it, fix it.
Sabotage.
Sabotage.
I didn't fucking unplug shit, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. It's you. Adebisi probably did that.
Bullshit. There's an option now.
Wait, let me have a look, Trance. Let me have a look. Multiple monitors. It's already set up, Trance. Duplicate.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah.
Unimpressed.
There we go. Babe, isn't this enough shopping for today?
Right.
But we haven't even gone to Victoria's Secret yet. And that's why Hellspawn's not here. He's angry. You better serve that famous cream pie of yours when we get home. Oh dear. It's a very nice bag, Hellspawn. As always, chat make up half the show. Yeah. Oh man, this document's freaking huge. Alright. Okay. Let's start with some drama. Jason Lake from Complexity. Going off topic here, Trance, not following the document whatsoever. We're freestyling here at the Good Show. Jason Lake from Complexity tweeted. What did he tweet, Adebisi?
I basically tweeted that one of the North American markets going under.
Yep. And obviously if it comes...
Big NA team news, but
Yeah, and he said he emphasized bad.
And our thoughts are on this. It's probably not Complexity because he might not want to just tweet about his own team going under.
Well, he said he couldn't say anything because it would violate someone's trust or whatever. So,
Yeah,
mean,
I think it's
founder and
yeah.
Complexity, so-
it's not Complexity, it's not EG. It's only one big team left in the
Quantic.
Unless you're
Quantic
talking
Gaming.
about League of Legends teams.
Or Root.
No.
I mean, who else does James talk to? Root.
But Root, like,
I wouldn't
that
consider Root a
wouldn't
big
shake
team.
the scene. That would just be like Katz and Drury being like,
Didn't work.
maybe we'll do something else.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, no offense to them, but they're not an organization that has like kind of been spending a lot of money.
I mean, big picture, they're kind of irrelevant to the NA scene. Big
wouldn't-
big
well, I
picture
mean,
wise.
say
I mean, in
that-
StarCraft, they might be like a minor force, but
I think it's Quantic.
yeah, it must be. Quantic.
I mean, in all fairness, like I got to talk to some people who are in Quantic that aren't anymore about what their kind of deal was, and it sounded like I was like, that's way too much of a deal for this kind of a new team to come in and offer. And who's on the Quantic roster these days?
Their star players, I
SGC.
guess, would be Sase is
and
kind of their
SGC.
biggest name, and then you've got the SDC and Golden being the two Koreans, and then you've also got Illusion and State who've been in the Quantic house with Sase training for quite some time now. Of course, they had Naniwa on their roster for a long time. And then they've also kind of got another
They've got
load of
others like
players, actually.
Hawk.
They've got Theognis, they've got Hawk,
They've
they've
got
got
Flo.
Madless, they've got Flo. And then they've also got kind of their media team, right? Like they've got Maximus Black. They've been sending Gwyn to cover. He's covered like the last 2 MLGs for them, and Living Pink helped him with IPL 5. And then they've got a huge video team behind that too, right? Like those videos are like
Haven't
there's
they
a
just
lot
signed
of
the
very
League of
expensive
Legends team
equipment
as well, like a couple weeks
Yes,
ago.
yes, they also did that, and that team was like all gearing up to move into the house. So it seems like really bizarre timing because they were doing a
Exactly.
lot of really big stuff, investing a lot of money, but
Yeah, we don't know for sure though, but that's our
Yeah.
guess, right? We all going to agree
It
with
could-
our
I mean,
guess.
yeah, I'm not sure. It could be something else as well. It could be like someone like Sir Goose leaving EG. It could be something like that. It could be.
Isn't that already announced? Didn't that happen?
No, that was live on 3.
he said he's leaving live on 3,
Yeah.
but there's kind of like whisperings about new direction entirely. He tweeted, so I actually talked to Slasher a bit about that. He didn't really say much, but he said like there would be more coming soon regarding him. But
Coming
this
soon,
isn't that. I mean, because EG's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but it could,
No.
could be. I mean, it's still big news, and it's still, I guess, bad news as well, or sad news. But it's.
Yeah, but I
I'm
don't
guessing
think he
Quantic.
would. Yeah, I
Alright.
think we all agree.
So yeah, keep an eye on that.
I mean, he
and-
said tonight. So, oh, and actually, the other interesting tidbit that points to Quantic is that NewmaN tweeted. He always does Climbing the Ladder, which has Mark Faraz, the CEO and founder of Quantic, on it. and he's like, "Oh, guys, don't know if there will be a climbing day because of," I forget exactly what he tweeted, but something about work and something about certain people can't make it or something. So that would be a pretty big coincidence if it didn't have to do.
Okay. So we're all voting that we think it's Quantic.
What about the repercussions of this? Is this...
What are
Unfortunately,
the repercussions of it?
Yeah.
Not much.
I mean,
You don't think it matters? You don't think it's like a big hit to kind of like the NA scene
in general?
I think the NA scene needs more teams. If you look at the European scene, we've got maybe 10 big teams.
And
And
a
then
healthy range of teams that can like provide different levels of support.
Compete.
I think, wasn't Quantic started within the whole StarCraft 2 era of... Yeah.
Well, not exactly. They started with Battlefield. Like it was,
it?
yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It was some console FPS. Maybe it's Gears of War. I couldn't tell you. I think it's Battlefield though.
Or Call of Duty.
But yeah, they kind of started off, and then I think they kind of saw how StarCraft was booming so much, and kind of got bright eyes, and were like, "Ooh, you know, we could be as big as EG," and then kind of, yeah.
Esports is in many ways a harder place to be sustainable than people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well,
It
that's
looks
for sure.
it looks very shiny on the outside, but it's hard to build a business in esports.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of free agents coming out if Quantic does go under from their StarCraft squad, and a lot of really good players too, a lot of really talented players, and a lot of players that are really worth it. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Like I got some good friends on Quantic, and they lose their teams, and like especially when you're living in Korea, it's pretty shitty.
There's a lot of really good free agents at the moment in StarCraft. I mean, there's lots of good Western players.
Well, I still think a lot of StarCraft 2 players are overpaid anyway. So...
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's
Give or
like
take.
it's also challenging because I mean you look at the North American scene, and to live in America or Canada, it's much more expensive. You look at some of the European players that, like, you know, like for example, Bly lives in Ukraine. Cost of living in Ukraine is pretty low. It's like you live 2 PLAM daily, or you win 2 PLAM dailies in a week, and you're like laughing. Whereas if you live in America, it's not that easy. No offense to Ukraine, but
but that's the
That's-
that's the
Just look
reality.
at White Raw.
yeah, he's doing
I
great.
mean, hell,
He's doing great for himself.
one of the plans for the good studio was just like if things were like, if we were like unhappy with how things went after the first year, we would just go like, maybe we should just go move the whole studio to Hungary and live in a mansion. That would be amazing. And invite players
food.
to come over
Yeah.
and train and boot camp and stuff. But nah, Stockholm's good because we're good at what we do sometimes. All right then, so let's go into more bits of drama. Should we talk about Sir Scoots leaving Live on 3?
Yeah.
Because I think this is quite interesting. Because it's going to be really weird for me to see Live on 3 firstly without him. And it was announced, right? He's leaving Live on 3.
Yes, he has
it's on
confirmed
Twitter.
that.
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
And then at the same time, you know, who knows if he's still going to be involved with EG.
I think that's the big question mark.
And
it's-
that's what everyone's, looking
I mean, Live on 3 or
towards.
I mean,
But I
one
don't
more
know,
game.
like, what's going to happen with Live on 3? Like, who are they going to replace? Who are they going to bring on?
Yeah, Slasher said they're looking at who to replace him, how to replace him, what to do with the show. He said maybe they'd change the format and have 2 shows a week, but do it differently. And I mean, so much is up in the air. I mean,
The problem I find with One More Game, sorry to interrupt, it's like, even if they bring on someone who's pretty good on camera hosting, like In Control, it just becomes some sort of EG.
circle jerk.
Well,
they're
but
already
it's always
sponsored by
been like an
Monster.
EG.
yeah, but it's
almost.
like, I don't understand Alex Garfield's branding sometimes. It's like, you've got EG, that is that, and then you shouldn't kind of cross-promote all your talent across so many different
I
shows
agree.
where everyone's just like, oh, it's really EG behind it. And I'm sure One More Game is, owned by DJ Wheat and Sir Scoots as well,
And
as
Alex.
Garfield. But at the same time, it just doesn't seem like, I don't know, man. I question his brand building kind of
Strategy.
strategy. Not so much like how he does it, his business, because he's done obviously a great job with getting that kind of promotion and getting these sponsors. But if In Control joins like Live on 3 or something like that, I'd just be like, to me, it would just be like.
To me, that would be a train wreck. I mean,
They need
I mean,
not
even,
just-
even though Sir Scoots is within EG, at least he offers like a an all-round
exactly.
experience.
It's
of
a
an
general
opinion. So
esports show.
I don't know
and you
who
control.
they're going to replace with. Let's ask chat.
Like-
Who would you like to see on Live on 3 if they continue as they
That's
were?
why Hellspawn isn't here.
Oh,
Richard would be really good, but he also works with Heaven Media. Richard,
Yeah.
who does the interviews.
Richard Lewis. From
Richard
But what does
Lewis.
that mean? Like, is that-
Red Eye. Why are you asking me to go on Live on 3, guys?
Yo, I got some fans out there. What's up?
Actually, I started this show one time. I wanted to start the show because I went to QuakeCon, right? And there was this massive rant on Live on 3 about how bad id Software were at handling a situation with one of the players, which was Prozac, because they basically banned and kicked him out of the tournament.
So many moods, some guy.
Right? And they were literally going so crazy on id Software and blaming them for like what happened, but none of them were at the event from Live on 3. And I was at the event and I saw it all, and I was like, they don't have at all the, like maybe sometimes we talk off like or say things in a way that maybe we say them too strong and we weren't there. Like I said, Snoopy was the guy that hit on In Control, and then Fishstick said, "Oh, you weren't even there, James," but I was right. Obviously, but then
really hit
like
on In Control,
Prozac basically went to America, went mental, did a lot of drugs, went on stage, played the game, was a bit mental, lost the game, went outside, punched a tree, jumped in the swimming pool at the hotel with his clothes on, got out the swimming pool, went back up on stage, and then went into the player area, took off his clothes and put on new clothes, and then id Software were like, what the fuck is going on? Could you not do this? And then basically said, you're out, like, you can't do this, and then they even, in the hotel, because he was being so mental around the bar, they actually they had him under arrest at the hotel, and they actually had guards outside Prozac's door, and they had him under room arrest. And then, but Live on 3 blamed id Software, and I was like, well, actually, that's not really what happened.
Slashers in chat is saying they were playing more the production and blah blah.
No, Slasher. I watched the show and I remember it. And then I was like, I really want to start a show as well to give some other opinions on stuff. But But I'm wondering who's going to replace.
It's hard to replace him, at least.
I mean,
I
Slasher
can't,
2.
I can't think of anyone that can replace him.
He said they might just keep it 2 people. I mean, maybe more call-ins to keep things fresh.
I mean, Slasher's really good because he
Yeah,
probably
Slasher-
does something that we don't do, which is actually research. And, DJ Weeds,
DJ Wheat is
He's running
good
it
at raging.
kind of just let's do that. But
So Richard would
Slayer's
actually be a very good
Jessica
fit.
for Live on 3. Petition right there, man. That would be
Make
awesome.
it happen.
Adds
Yeah.
that dash.
Definitely needs to be someone old, I think.
Someone who?
Old.
Prozac's
Yeah.
fine. I think it was just a bad time and some
Red Eye,
bad
perhaps.
cocaine. Huh?
Red Eye, perhaps.
Yeah, well, he's in
Time zones,
ESL.
yeah.
So
Time zones.
anyway, the story is see what Sir Scoots is up to because he has done a lot and contributed a lot. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on him. Hotbid would be good, but I don't
What
think he
about-
goes to enough events.
What about JP McDaniel?
JP McDaniel? Well,
a
he did
recipe
an
for
amazing
success.
job producing the Shootmania stream at IPL.
Except the finals with the audio, I guess, right?
Yeah, so we'll see. Slasher and chat.
Apparently Slasher said that he told you
Slasher
some
can't
shit,
afford
Mike.
JP, so...
Apparently he said that he told you some shit that you should be saying.
What? I wasn't fucking Slasher. About Live on 3? I
Yeah,
said...
about Live on 3.
Fuck
About Scoots
Slasher.
leaving Live on 3. Fuck Slasher.
Fuck Slasher.
I don't know. I
We're
mean,
promoting your show here.
the only
Slasher.
thing Slasher said to me was that they were looking at doing a different format and having maybe 2 shows a week in a different structure. Yeah,
So that's about it.
I don't know.
Nothing enlightening.
It's Slasher.
All right, so that is IX Mike. It's a recommendation, but that's it's quite big because it's a big industry figure moving in terms of where he's going, and we never really know how much work everyone individually within the EG kind of circle of the organization does, but he has he has been at the forefront in a lot of.
He feels that more of a
Representation.
managerial role, right?
The thing is,
He's
it-
really, I guess
His
he's
proximity
really-
to the house. He has the studio in his house. Apparently.
yeah, exactly. If he leaves
So, I mean-
EG, he's got the studio there, so they've been producing.
Well,
you know,
I think they're probably not going to moving that.
The whole house, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're going to get a house in. I mean, we haven't talked about it
We
yet,
haven't
but
talked
they've
about
got EG Team Liquid. They've got their Korea house coming, and if
Yep.
you're sending out Idra, if you're sending out maybe the Muslim,
What,
I mean,
Dorzan, Hawk?
those aren't players that lived at the EG house. But I mean, if they don't have that studio there, that's the whole reason they went to Arizona. So maybe they'll kind of shift what they're doing.
Leases up.
Who knows?
And I mean, Scoot is responsible for a lot of the media production that they're doing as well. So without him, they're
And with In Control
They're
getting
gonna be part of
married,
it.
maybe he's going to want to move out, you know, have some more privacy with Anna.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Gotta start a
How
family,
was
man.
his first night after marriage?
I don't know.
I hope pretty good. I bet it, yeah.
I
bet
heard
it
he
was great.
tweeted something like sex is overrated.
Underrated, yeah.
underrated, I think.
I hope
Yeah.
not. I hope not overrated. I don't know.
You would hope not. I mean,
it was underrated.
It was underrated.
honeymoon.
Underrated.
And
Sex is
congratulations to In Control and Anna.
I'm gonna go ladder. Fuck this.
I am disappointed.
All right, so that's a little bit of drama. So we've done some drama. What have we done? We've done tweet from Jason Lake. We've done EG. So Scoot's leaving live and free. See what if he's going to stay with EG or not, and what's going to happen with that side of everything. We've got fuck Slasher. Just why not?
Oh, I guess
And then what was
Slasher.
the other one we did?
One more thing with Live on 3. Maybe this is what Slasher wanted. They will do like a final show or something in the next 2 weeks. So Scoots will be on it. So maybe if we're lucky, Sir Scoots is like leaving esports and he's gonna burn a bunch of bridges and like really entertain
That would be
us.
brilliant. They got to give him
Yeah.
like a soapbox plushie or something.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean,
to commemorate
he's
role
on his
the
way
show.
out. Maybe. I mean, not of esports, but just. Yeah,
Of life.
you're that
Yeah,
side
maybe.
of the... So you might as well take this time now to kind of just vent shit.
Could be. I mean, you see
I
Jeff
will-
taking steps back from EG. Maybe it's more of an EG policy. They're going to take steps back away from these talk shows and exposure in that way.
No, I mean, Inside the Game's been on like a 3-week hiatus or something.
Yeah,
So
maybe just
maybe they're going to
motivation.
entirely restructure one more game. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we sort of do. We look forward to it, Slasher and we and Scoots. So where are we going next with the drama train?
Well, we might as well. Do we want to do more drama, or should we just go ahead and?
I like drama.
We can sprinkle in some real content.
We've
Is
already
that-
talked. I mean, you just brought up the house, the EG house, the new EG house.
All right, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do the announcement.
Yeah.
Not the announcement, as in we're not announcing it. They've
No.
announced it. We're announcing it to you.
There we go.
Semmler, take it away.
Yeah, so if you go and actually check out myevilgeniuses.net today, you can see that there's been a big announcement between. What the fuck? Do we have another link? What? Where the fuck? Okay, hold on.
You want us to do...
Hey, I need attention. You need to put this shit in like 36 font,
Alright.
man. I can't
It
read
needs
this.
an audio effect
I'll
to
do
get
it.
someone's
14
attention.
font. Okay, that's big.
I'll do this bit, you do the next bit.
you do
So 4 Open, which is a Swedish run event by the people over at Fragbite and the media house behind them, have been running an online series.
Okay, I got the point.
Chances made it like a whole page of the document. Have been running an online series, and it's coming up to their grand finals, which will be in Stockholm, in Kista. And they've contracted the Good Studio to...
No, they contracted DG Studio.
Yeah,
No,
I guess.
it says
Statement
GD.
says DG Studio.
I guess we have some competition.
It says GD here.
Ah, it's been translated.
Yeah, yours is
Oh.
translated, bitch.
Yeah, so Google
Oh.
translates.
So
too
December
bad.
8th to 9th, the Good Studio... yeah, December... Well, there's a picture of me. December 8th to 9th, the Good Studio will be hosting the 4 Open, which is a lot of partners involved with that, actually, and it's a new step in for Fragbite in terms of a bigger step in. And there's, of course, going to be games like StarCraft 2, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike Go. There's also League of Legends, and I think we're primarily responsible for the StarCraft 2,
You think?
Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Go. So we'll be there with the whole team. I'll be hosting. Apollo, Semmler, and Adebisi will be handling StarCraft 2. So maybe Adebisi will get on camera and do some casting. Within Dota 2, Draskyl and wEppas will be there. And Counter-Strike Go, they've organised their own commentators. Bloomstar and To Be Announced. And League of Legends is going to be Forecourt, Jester, and Insigma. It starts and it's 8th to 9th, and there's going to be a live event in Stockholm. So if you're around Stockholm, want to come see the live event, either meet us or meet the pro teams that are going there as well. There's a good lineup in all the games. Yeah, come on down. So there's the announcement for Open.
To funk it.
It's a pretty good picture of me, though.
Looking suave, man. Oh wow, they blow it up. Don't blow it up.
Yeah, I look better.
Yeah.
To be clear, there's a bit of confusion in chat. We are not producing the low stream. I repeat, we are not producing the
We're
low
not
stream.
producing the low stream. We're
The low
doing.
stream is being produced offsite by Forkor Jester and one of his buddies.
FCJ is handling it?
Yeah, he'll do the stream
shit.
for it from back home. But
Cool.
I'm not touching that shit, man. I ain't touching that.
Nah, man, the Jester's on
So
it.
we're gonna be on site the 8th, and we're gonna be getting all the streams up and running with all the content, and the players will be there. And on the 9th, I believe it opens up to the public, and then you're gonna have a final day show, and all the finals are gonna be on the main stage, and so we'll be doing that as well. So we're really happy. You know, it's really nice to do something, and hopefully, I mean, it's a new project, and what I always say about new projects. Well, what I think about new projects is like they maybe haven't made a big splash with their online section and their qualifiers, but people are wanting to attend and they've got qualified teams. But I hope everyone can tune in at least to kind of give them some support so they have an easier time when they go back to which are a computer manufacturer or, you know, their
it's
other
one of the
partners.
biggest Swedish e-tailers, basically.
Yeah,
So
CD-ON,
it's
yeah.
extremely
So
important.
hopefully we help them make it a success, and they have an easier time doing stuff for next year because they're putting up a lot of prize money.
It's like 21 grand, 25 grand, something like that.
No, it's
Like
more than
per
that.
game,
It's like
that.
$87,000 total
Yep.
across all the games. So
It's really good.
yeah, so check that out, fragbite.se, if you want the news in Swedish. All right, so where were we going
Back
next?
to drama?
Semmler?
Is
Back
that-
to drama. That's enough official stuff.
More drama?
Yeah, well, not
Well, do we
drama.
have more drama?
Yeah,
I mean, we
make
could
There's
more.
always drama.
EG and Team Liquid.
Yes, they're making unholy spawn babies in Korea. Like that.
Is that the official?
That's the official thing. Pro League. Looks like the 8th team that was going to be announced for Pro League. It was the 8th team, or the unknown to be announced team, is going to turn out to be an unholy union between EG and Liquid.
Yeah, so we mentioned it last time on the show where we had 7 teams and the Pro League was looking for an 8th, and we all assumed it would just be EG, actually. And there was like a kind of a fee to get a team in that was rumored. I don't think it was confirmed, of around like 100,000.
Yeah, Slasher started the rumor of 92 was his number.
That's
but-
a good number.
Gotta be
Why not?
precise, you know?
Well, it's probably like $1 million of the Korean money, funny money, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. See, I'm really skeptical of that now because, I mean, you look at it, and if they're paying that, to me, they're stupid because you've got the 7th team, which is Kespa's sponsored team. So Kespa's already funding a whole team. So obviously they're struggling to get sponsors. So you're going to come in and pay them to get your team there when your team is the biggest draw. Yeah, no, I can't see how possibly they would be paying for this. In fact, I mean, they could be getting paid for this. I mean, in terms of like helping with sponsorship, maybe helping them get established in Korea, opening a team house, and because I mean, this league is 8 months long. Like this is a big commitment, right?
All right, and EG and Team Liquid are taking a joint spot, the 8th spot, and joining forces just for this tournament, though.
Yeah.
It's like within the other team leagues, they're obviously going to represent themselves, but for some reason they've decided we will both enter together.
Yeah,
but how does that
chance,
even
maybe?
come
Like-
about as an option? Like,
Well, the amount of players, the
yeah.
player pool they need. I guess they need a couple of different players in each race.
Well, you just need a certain amount of players, and I
8,
mean,
9? What was it again?
I don't know how many you actually need, but in terms of games, you need at least 7. But I think your roster might need to be like 10 to have enough variety, and especially for EG and Team Liquid, these players travel the world constantly. And 2013, you kind of want to rest your players more, so maybe it makes more sense to have them based out of Korea. But it's
it's
interesting
But
to me.
also the Kesper Pro League, that gets televised. right, in Korea?
Yeah, essentially it's going to be broadcast on OGN on the weekends, 2 days on OGN, and then 2 days on SBO TV, which is actually only internet broadcasting, I believe. It's a little bit vague. They're actually new to esports. Talked about this a little bit before. Apparently they actually broadcast the MVP tournament that MLG did before, so I guess that's their first foray into it. But I'm guessing that there won't actually be an English broadcast for those days, so that's kind of sad. But I guess they'll put all the EG days on the on the weekend because that's what everyone's going to want to see. I don't know.
So, what do you make of that decision for EG and Team Liquid to kind of say, yes, let's work together and enter this tournament together? Do you think it's something they wanted, or do you think they both wanted the spot and then Casper?
I don't think Liquid could have done it alone at all.
Okay.
I think Liquid was probably invited by EG to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Apparently that's how. If you listen to the statements from Draskyl, it's like
Yeah.
they were approached by EG.
Yeah.
and apparently this wasn't even finalized when IPL was starting, so they were, because I mean,
talked over
ultimately
there.
what EG can do is be like, Huck, you're getting a pay cut 25% of his salary, and then you hire 5 more Koreans, right? So that could be done. So I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, in terms of like the community reaction,
They're getting a
I
lot of
think
goodwill from the community.
this
How
has
has
gotten a
the community-
much bigger reaction than if it was just EG.
How's the community reacting? You've probably read the Reddit.
Yeah, I
threads
mean,
and other Team
good.
Liquid.
They're like, oh my god, well.
Yeah, it's just
So-
it's more like.
I find it odd though.
GSL is probably not thrilled, I guess. But
I don't think it's as big as they thought it would be when they announced it. I think it's a bit. I don't know.
I think
they thought it was going to be like a massive thing.
how big could it be?
Like the hack announcement, maybe.
Seems
But
weird
it
to
feels
be
like-
to be able to enter a team league with another team.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. That does seem pretty
it's
odd.
like
It's-
Chelsea and Man United playing
Yeah.
Champions League.
I guess in
together.
some ways it arguably defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
But, meh.
I'm sure they're gonna, they have an EG tag for EG players.
I wonder if
Liquid
they'll
tag
have
for Team
unique
Liquid players.
jerseys for like EG
Nah.
and Team
I
Liquid.
mean,
like split down the
I think
middle or
they'll
some
end up
shit.
representing their own team when they
Yeah.
play. Like here's EG this and
It's an
here's Team
interesting-
Liquid this. But it just feels you don't really connect to that group of people as a team. You more or less think of them as
Individual players.
The white guys.
The white guys. Yeah.
yeah, here come the white guys, and
It's kind of weird as
Some
well.
of
'Cause
their
they have
friends,
competing
like
sponsors.
Puma,
Yeah, some of their Korean buddies.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do have
Traders.
competing sponsors.
I mean, Liquid and EG's got competing sponsors in Racer and SteelSeries. That's
And usually that's a big
interesting.
no-no. I mean, that's the reason why Slayers and EG didn't compete in GSTL for a while until Slayers no longer had Razor. So maybe something changed. I don't know.
Seems pretty
Maybe.
fucked up to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I don't know. Couldn't there be a better way about it? Like, sometimes when if it was EG that was entering,
I would love
sometimes like in sports, you end up like some of your football players, you end up loaning, to the club for X amount of time. Like, couldn't they have just like EG gone and be like, yeah, we're
Yeah, but Team Liquid wouldn't be like, here's Hero. You can play
yeah, but
under
there's a
EG.
fee involved. And
Yeah, sure, there's the fee, but
yeah, but
I don't
like
know.
we said,
For
they-
that
Yeah,
fee,
but they
like,
wouldn't
what's
let 'em go
that
under
fee?
the
You could
EG,
hire
yeah.
another no-name Korean for that fee, and
Yeah.
it's fine.
I don't know.
But it is
Doesn't-
also
I mean, it doesn't
interesting.
even have to be a no-name Korean. You can
I
probably
think they
pick
should
up the
just name
content
their
Koreans
team.
easy.
Yeah, yeah.
White guys and Entourage.
White Guys Incorporated. I'm curious
Who's
about the house
coaching
as well.
them?
Are Team Liquid
I would've
players
got
going to be
behind
living
that
with EG houses in this new lab? The lab, what they've announced is the team house with the coach and everything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Are they
they've
actually going
got-
to be living together, EG and Team Liquid
They've
both?
got the former SK T1 coach coming in, and then Hwani is still like their Korean manager, something or other. And then of course they've still got Cody. I don't think he's going to be going over to Korea though. I don't know. I know
Doubt
he.
that.
It would kind of make sense. Maybe
they're
he speaks
basically-
English, but
Well, I mean, they've got Hwani on that.
Did they have their Dota 2 team in China now as well, or
Who?
AG? No,
Not sure.
Uh,
they play in the
haven't heard
Chinese
anything
leagues,
about
but I guess
that.
they can play from the
yeah,
US.
no, they play with latency. Yeah.
We'll see how many seasons this lasts. I don't think it's going to last that many seasons.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect it to last more than one, really.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an 8-month long season, so.
$275,000 on the line, though.
Is that
It's not
really
too
a lot of
shabby.
money, though?
I think it's more the exposure. You kind of want to be connected with that league.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly,
prestige. It's like
precisely.
you are one of the 8 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, 8.5 teams.
It's not very prestigious though in the the Western world, in the mainstream casual world. I mean, talking to sponsors. I mean, I think IPL and MLG and the big Western leagues are just as prestigious.
Well, I mean, with it, you can kind of be like, this is a league that's 10, 15, however many years old, which maybe you can't with some of the others. Maybe you can have better parity with like, hey, here are the other sponsors. This is SK Telecom. This is this company. This is that company. These are the sponsors of the league. Whereas maybe for certain companies, that's more impressive than, a bunch of computer manufacturers and
Yeah. All right.
odd
Well,
snack food.
we'll see how that unfolds and what it means. But once again, EG, branding.
And tying in with Kespa, while we're on the Kespa topic, they put out a statement about participation in foreign leagues.
Yeah, Frank Fields, apparently there was a statement on Team Liquid regarding, was it participation in foreign leagues?
Yeah, well,
Apparently they were
Kespa's
approached.
policy on participation in foreign leagues, basically they said they were like, whatever for the IPL 5 with Innovation playing in GSTL, or Innovation playing in the IPL 5 regular tournament because he was in GSL top 4. But then they said, you have to come to us, negotiate. They said that no one from IPL, actually I think they said someone from IPL contacted the teams.
The teams directly.
But that's not how you're supposed to do it,
Well, no,
or so forth.
It's that the teams afterwards reference that individual to Kespa apparently, and that's when communication stopped. Like he contacted
Yeah,
the teams, but never went through the trouble of going through the proper channel.
Yeah, and Frank Fields posted that he tried to contact Kespa officials as well as teams, as well as I think there's like 4 bullet points. The laptop ran out of battery, so I can't check.
Damn it, man.
But then he deleted his post, but fortunately some kind fellow on Team Liquid quoted him, so you can actually see what he posted.
Yeah.
And then he posted again that communication may be open again now, so who knows when we'll see Kespa players in leagues other than MLG, I guess.
They're discussing it now. They're saying
I mean,
they're
they
discussing
said-
with multiple
there must be
leagues.
some sort of a deal because I'm
So, I
guessing
mean-
EG and Liquid would never
How much
allow
is
this.
the average Casper player earning, you reckon, on salary?
It varies. I mean, there's like, the biggest number that I think has kind of been thrown around is like a 3-year contract for Flash being like $300,000 or something.
What, a year?
No, like for that 3-year contract.
That's not
So,
much.
yeah, no, it's not. I mean, but people on forums will be like $300K a year. I don't know. None of this information really gets out there. But then you've got the
Apparently
B
19K.
teamers,
Apparently 19K. For
the B
other
teamers, and the dishwashers make next to
It just
nothing.
seems
So
weird that Casper are really able to kind of lock the players in of such, in my opinion, a small investment.
But what's the other option for a Korean player? To play in GSL and try to win, try and get first place and win $40,000? Like, and I mean, for so long, Kespa's been the only option. If you want to be a pro gamer, you need the pro gaming Kespa license to play in their league. So,
All right. So, yeah, there we have it. Some Casper player stuff. We had that in our drama. Any other drama?
No, we should have this like this with news items. We should start getting.
We should start going through the news.
I think we already
Boring.
touched on most of it because
Yeah.
I mean we talked about the Heart of the Swarm changes already, so that'll be
Yeah.
interesting. I think what'll be most interesting is we've got NASL right around the corner with I'm not sure if it's 5 Zerg players or 6. I think it's 5 in the top 8.
Yeah, there's only 8 players at the...
Yeah, so it'll be
NASL.
interesting to see how those Zerg players do, how the matchups go. If maybe DeMuslim can get some shit done there now that the Infestor has
Go
been slightly
DeMuslim.
nerfed.
All right.
Is there anything else?
GOM TV offer enhanced HQ for premium subscribers and browser Flash player in 2013. Yeah. And they announced their 2013 GSL
Yeah,
schedule.
4 GSLs, 2 GSTLs.
That's almost the same as IPL.
It is. Yeah, it is. It could line up nicely. They also mentioned they'll switch to Heart of the Swarm right away. So they'll do 1 GSL, Wings of Liberty, and then switch. I think everybody's switching come March, so to me that's not really news. And then they said they're probably adding more games. Mr. Shea was kind of hinting about it, so I think League of Legends is kind of obvious choice there. But I think it's really possible, too, with their partnership with IPL, they could get Capcom games. They could...
Yeah.
They could
I
do
saw a
something
tweet
there.
from Slasher like an hour ago saying that they're strongly hinting at League of Legends.
Yeah.
That's basically a no-brainer looking at the League of
I
Legends.
mean, they've already
numbers
produced
and
the IPL qualifiers, and they've got. They're happy to stick Tasteless, or Wolf was ready to do some League of Legends commentary, so they're ready to go on that front.
And what do you make of
They've
the
got great
enhanced-
outfits too for their League of Legends
they-
commentators.
What do you make of
quality.
the enhanced HQ?
They're like one
a high
step ahead of
quality?
WCG.
Yeah.
almost.
Huh?
It's like one step ahead of WCG. It's like bad. Just bad.
I mean, for me, when I'm paying hundreds of dollars to watch StarCraft, I'd love to watch it in 8. Got to settle for enhanced HQ, I guess.
Okay. How much did it cost for a
I don't
GOM
know.
TV ticket?
I mean, it varies. You can get, there's the light pack, which is, it used to just only be the games, but you get the games in HQ, but that's not going to be the enhanced HQ. And I don't know what that costs off the top of my head. And then you can get the premium, which is ad supported, and then you get like the premium with no ads. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
There
a lot
you
of
go.
money.
Yep, so we talked about the EG house. Apparently, just to recap that, it's going to be dubbed the lab, and they're going to have a Korean coach in there as well that they took from which team, was it?
SK?
Yeah, he's former SKT1.
Okay.
No.
And then Pro League, we talked about a little bit, $275K US dollar prize pool.
Yep. Which is apparently their biggest yet, but it's not really that relevant, I think.
Okay. And EGTL versus KT is going to be the opening match.
And
When
that's
does
also,
it kick off?
that'll be December 8th,
December 8th.
on top of GSTL. So
Oh, really? It's starting December.
It's
8th.
this weekend, this
Yeah,
Saturday.
it's
So December 8th, we've got NASL, 4 Open, and Pro League.
yeah. This weekend for StarCraft 2 will be NASL, Thor Open, GSTL, and the Pro League opening day.
GSTL and the Pro League.
Yeah, GSTL finals.
Oh, okay. And the Pro League will be EGTL versus KT.
EGTL versus KT, as well as
Holy shit, this
I
weekend's
think
gonna be crazy.
Lungeon Stars versus.
I thought things were slowing down.
Nah, end of the year, man. This is the last weekend.
This is kind of
the last weekend, but then you got Home
this is
Story
kind
Cup,
of
but
the
that's
big
in a couple
bash.
weeks.
Yeah, Home
I mean,
Story Cup is
it's like
the
the
weekend
20th,
before.
22nd,
The weekend
something
before
like that.
Christmas.
I think Robert, the DreamHack boss, tweeted today that we need an esports off season. And I
Yes,
kinda
we
agree.
do. I've been saying it for months.
Make it happen, Semmler.
I know. I'm going to work on it.
Make it happen.
Stop working.
I mean, especially for the EG players, because it's like, who knows when they got word about going to Pro League, going to Korea, but it's like, okay, December, we're off. It's like,
Merry
no,
Christmas, guys.
no, time to
Have
get
fun with that.
down to Korea and play one best of one a week.
Well, the
There
thing
you
is
go.
that Stefano tweeted earlier that he's got 2 weeks off right now.
Yeah, I
for
mean, who
Home Story
knows
Cup,
if he's
so-
there off the bat.
Yeah,
So-
I guess they'll probably be running with like the guys
Maybe
that
for
are
him,
already
a best
there.
of one a week is actually.
Because you've already got
time off.
Liquid, you've got like C, Zinho, Hero that are going to be there. No, Heroes in NASL, so
Yeah,
that's kind
Hero
of
won't be there. DeMuslim won't be there, although he's not announced as going. And there's
No.
one other player as well.
got Idra for
Tasia
EG.
will be at NASL as well.
I guess it's really going to stress the minimum players. You know, they're probably just going to have like 7 players and that's it.
I think
whatever they can
Thorzane
scrape together
will.
from those
Thorzane, I
teams.
think for sure will be there. I don't know about anyone else.
Thorzane isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of the player changes in StarCraft 2. Revival leaves TSL.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll end up on EG. Who knows?
Possible.
Ganzi removes the cold tag from his Twitter.
Yeah, that's kind of fishy, but
So much
he's
dancing.
still staying at the Complexity House, so I don't know. Maybe he just wants more money to have a Complexity in his Twitter tag.
All right.
You know, He's playing
Dragon
hardball,
leaves Millennium, the French organization, returns to Korea due to visa issues and a desire to focus on Heart of the Swarm.
Who? Ford? Did you?
Dragon.
Or Dragon left Millennium. He's just not on a team. I mean, you don't really need a team to just stream yourself
It's hot in
beating
here,
dancing
isn't it?
around,
Adebisi?
players.
It's really hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Got
that's
nice tits going on there.
fuck you, trans. Yeah, fuck the guy. You're like,
Oh, we laugh at the most childish shit. All right, then, so some tournament results. Obviously, we talked about IPL, but some of the other stuff that happened. Multiplay, I-47 went on, which is the Insomnia series for Multiplay, which is the UK's largest LAN. They've always really focused on the LAN itself and the kind of community around gamers rather than tournaments, but they have been doing some good tournaments the past year, and they did a StarCraft 2 tournament and Bling won.
Yeah.
So Dignitas
Was
Bling, co-sponsored by
decently-
Total Biscuit,
yeah,
huh?
Decently stacked tournament, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
Tilo was there.
TLO.
Yeah, TLO actually ended up going out in the group stage too. So
Holy moly.
Yeah, a decent tournament. I mean, it's a shame with Insomnia because they haven't really grown since like
Yeah, forever.
2006 or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
Shit,
They
TLO
basically
went out
stuck
the
at this
bottom of the
2000 number with like no esports tournaments and
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Probably the biggest question: how shit-faced did Bling get after the tournament?
Not sure.
I bet really shit faced.
I think the biggest drama from this weekend is probably they banned Cadred from the event or Heaven Media from the event.
Whoa!
So the biggest UK esports website. Yeah, the biggest UK esports website was banned from the biggest UK event.
Wait, so Multiplay banned Cadred.
No, they banned Heaven Media. So
Heaven
Cadred
Media,
and
a
Tech9.
part of
Yeah,
They banned Heaven Media from attending.
yeah. Or they banned them from attending or getting press accreditation. So they could attend the event, but they couldn't work as press.
Why?
What was the reasoning?
Do you know any
Really,
more?
I mean, the reasoning was really fishy. It was something like they had a couple of different things. I think Gonzo or Richard Lewis was in some sort of altercation last event.
Some sort of what?
Altercation with another partner to Multiplay, as well as Heaven Media being a competitor now as well with their event. They're doing some CS Source event, so they're afraid of biased coverage, basically. So it's a really fishy reason. There's a big statement on Cadred on it on their website.
Yeah, so go to cadred.org, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah, and check that out.
And at the same time, Cadred or Heaven Media banned HLTV.org from coming to their event. Or not, they didn't ban them, but they didn't get that. Yeah, there's no room. Yeah. So there's the big, what do you call it? The big fight in the CS Source community or the CS:GO community.
Okay, that's fun.
That's a shame.
More drama.
I mean, yeah, shame. Iron Squid group stages are on the way, so this comes under results. Group A and B are complete, and if you're not familiar with Iron Squid, they're the French organisation that have run one season so far, which they call Chapter 1, and they're in Chapter 2. Prize pool is $27,000. Let me see if I can bring up the group stage, and we can take a look at the group stages, and you can just see that Hero Symbol have qualified over Golden and Alive, and Life and Creator have qualified over Kaz and Seed. And then you can see the dates here as well for the up-and-coming groups. Who's covering that online for English?
They've got two different sets of commentators. They've got Day9 and Kalaris did the opening day.
Okay.
And then Wolf and Kaldor did the second group, so I guess they're just rotating.
Cool. All right, yeah, and Iron Squid, their finals are next year sometime.
Yeah, that'll kind of probably, I guess.
February, I'm guessing. But
I think it's January, late January, I believe. Date should be out. I think tickets are already on sale. They've got an even bigger, nicer venue.
Yep.
But it'll be like one of the last big Wings of Liberty tournaments, so should be good.
Okay,
Iron Squid will be
and
good.
also in tournament results, you don't need to see the games maybe, but MLG, a Tournament of Champions, have had all their results leaked via PlayXP.
Isn't this like becoming a
time?
trend now?
Yeah,
with
MLG just can't
leak
keep
results?
And how can you be this stupid, leaking
Can't
your
keep their
results
shit.
every time you do an
I don't know if they're stupid or just some shit happens every time somehow.
I
No,
mean,
it's their maps, isn't it? They want to use the MLG branded maps, but they're not covered.
There's 5 other leagues that run online tournaments and broadcast from replays and don't have their results leaked. I think MLG probably has a lot more people like looking to fuck with them and looking to leak those results. But the fact that after this many times they're not being careful about this stuff, it boggles the mind.
Yeah, and it was picked up by playxp.com, which
Yeah.
is a Korean site.
Yeah, and I
so-
think that's kind of interesting because that, when it gets leaked on Team Liquid, it's okay, you look stupid to Team Liquid in the foreign community, but getting it put on PlayXP to me is a much bigger deal in a lot of ways, just because of reputations in Korea's.
you
it's
want to
important.
build a reputation.
Exactly, yeah.
So, who was in that tournament? How many games were played? What's the product meant to be?
It's really simple. It's just like off-season content. It's like an
Okay.
8-man single limb tournament. They do they had Flash versus DRG the opening day, and they were really, 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 really good games. So I mean, if you want to see the best play you can, it's pretty much still worth watching.
Yeah, just don't find the results.
Yeah, exactly. Just be careful if you're on the Team Liquid Live report thread
Yeah.
or reading Reddit New or whatever.
Reddit
But yeah,
period, it's on the
it's
front
pretty
page,
much
I think.
all of the MLG champions, excluding Tasia and Violet, who declined because they're just traveling nonstop, so they didn't play in it. But Flash took out Dongregu 3-1 yesterday, so that's not a spoiler, but of course you can find all the other results if you so choose. But otherwise it gets broadcast every night, and it's free HD too, so that's nice.
All right. So that brings us to the end of StarCraft 2 section.
Yes, we don't want to talk about that. We need to take a break. Dota.
And then we need to take a break and talk about Dota, some Quake Live stuff, and other games, and fire housing, and what's coming up next week. Although the document tells me. Oh, these shows, man. They just get longer and longer.
Yep.
Esports. I could be playing Dota right now.
You could be feeding up a storm.
That's true.
Got a little time to
What,
carry.
Trance, are we
yesterday.
going to a break then?
Yes, let's go for a break.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do we need a break?
Yes. We need to swap.
We need to swap people. Who are we swapping?
Jesus, just go to a break.
Trance, tell me.
You know, I don't have to tell you, you know this.
No,
is
what?
happening?
What?
Who's coming for the
Hellspawn got back from
Is Hellspawn
Victoria's
here?
Secret,
Is Hellspawn
so
here?
Yeah, Hellspawn.
Yeah.
Hellspawn's going to be here.
He came to decorate the tree.
Oh, you saw that? That was good.
It's good shit. All right, we're gonna be back. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, peeps.